Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Spy Patriot. Welcome back to another episode of Spy Patriot Live. On today's episode, I want to talk about the video with Justin Trudeau. Actually, there's going to be two videos of Justin Trudeau, of him in one video praising the Great Reset, praising Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030, and in the opposite video, him denying and calling it a conspiracy. So it just shows the double standards that the media has, number one, because in the second video, there's a reporter who, what they do is lead the questions. They want to crush the narrative, so they lead the question into the politician. So it makes it look like there's a consensus in society, like they know everybody, like they've heard, like their ear is to the ground. Meanwhile, they're just repeating something that they heard in the board of directors at the media places or whatever. They're being told what to say. It's not like they're asking any Canadians how they feel on the subjects. But so the videos are out there already, but I found it pretty interesting. So I put this together. We're going to play the first video and then the second video right after, and then I'm going to make a few comments on the videos in general. So here we go.
The last 6 months have laid bare fundamental gaps and inequities within our societies and between them. As with climate change, those who have the least are impacted the most. That's why last spring, Canada worked with Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Secretary General Antonio Guterres to convene a high-level meeting to discuss how leaders around the world could work together to close these gaps and build a better, more equitable system that works for everyone. In May, we agreed to look at 6 urgent areas of action to mobilize financing for the response and the recovery. Over the course of the summer, our 6 working groups produced over 250 policy options. On September 8th, finance ministers gathered to discuss these options and their recommendations for the short, medium, and long term. The most promising ideas will be taken up within existing IMF and World Bank processes, as well as at the G7 and G20 leaders' summits later in the fall. Then, in December, we're going to have the opportunity to meet again to discuss the progress we've made. Because we understand that right now we have to fix urgent problems, but in the long run, we also have to fix the system so that it works for everyone. To eliminate this virus anywhere, we need to eliminate it everywhere. While scientists work around the clock to develop a vaccine, as governments, we have the responsibility to ensure it'll be distributed quickly and fairly around the world. On Friday, I announced that Canada will provide $440 million to the COVID-19 Vaccine Global Access Facility, including $220 million to the Advanced Market Commitment to help low and middle-income countries access vaccines. This is an important initiative, and I encourage other governments to join in as well. We need to work together, and not just on vaccines. Canada believes that a strong, coordinated response across the world and across sectors is essential. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change. Last week, our government committed to investing more in international development while supporting developing countries on their economic recoveries and resilience. And on that note, today, I can announce that Canada will invest $400 million more in humanitarian and development funding, which will go directly to trusted partners on the ground fighting COVID-19. Our government is committed to investing even more in the years to come. In addition, we will continue to advocate for extending the debt service suspension initiative. We will also work on ensuring the special needs of small island developing states and other vulnerable countries are taken into account. Building back better means getting support to the most vulnerable while maintaining our momentum on reaching the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the SDGs. Canada is here to listen and to help.
What do you have to say to those, including MPs in the House of Commons, who see in your use of the term Great Reset evidence of some sort of grand plot? What do you have to say to this sort of conspiracy theory out on social media now?
I think we're in a time of anxiety where people are looking for reasons for things that are happening to them, that the difficult moments we're in. It's nice to be able to try and find someone to blame, something to point to, something to get mad at. I think we're seeing a lot of people fall prey to disinformation. And if conservative MPs and others want to start talking about conspiracy theories, well, that's their choice. I'm going to stay focused on helping Canadians get through this, on learning lessons from this pandemic, and making sure that the world we leave to our kids is even better than the world we inherited from our parents.
Build Back Better, Sustainable Development, Agenda 21. That is the conspiracy. That's what they've been hiding. So when you catch the guy on video talking to the UN in foreign countries, okay, he denies it when he's talking to Canadians here at home. And you know what I said about the reporter kind of leading the question. So he had the opportunity to come out and make that ridiculous statement. Like, it doesn't, well, it makes sense. I was going to say it doesn't make sense. It makes sense. World government already is established. What the Prime Minister is an MP for the UN. He's the representative for Canada at the UN, and they've been hiding it in plain view for years. They make the policies. Doesn't matter who you vote for. Look at Doug Ford. He hasn't changed anything. They never repeal anything from the Liberals. The only thing they care about is what they claim, okay, is fiscal management. So the Liberals go in, they make all these social programs, they spend, and when the Canadians get sick of it, they switch to Conservatives because we want fiscal responsibility. So for the next 4 years, nothing gets repealed and just austerity. They cut things that like hospital repairs. They don't maintain the hospitals. They don't maintain the roads. They don't maintain anything. They don't put infrastructure in. All the money goes to overseas. Like he said, $400 million for COVID. Why don't we use that money? If we're going to send it overseas, which I disagree with, because it doesn't work. It just goes to autocrats and oligarchs. They don't spend the money properly. Trusted people. There is no trusted people when you have $400 million and no oversight. And he's going to spend more? Why don't they spend that money in infrastructure? Like I was just going to say. Why don't you start building up these countries so they don't have to flee? Well, that's not part of sustainable development. That's not what they want. They got to get these people funneled into bigger cities in Western societies and put up vote blocks, balkanize. And it's not the people's fault. Like, I don't blame individual people for coming here, trying to have opportunities for their kids. Okay, but they don't remember Canada. They don't remember it. All they know is their lives are better. That's why you don't see them protesting. Their life is better than what they had. And it brings us into like, oh, we're decadent because we want what we used to have. We want the people coming here to have what we used to have. But they don't remember. You know, they don't remember that the liberty that you had. And the further back you go in Canadian history, the more liberty you had. And because government's getting so big, you need these bureaucrats, these people that have no skills, going out telling people how to live. And it's so stupid. And you know their kids are the worst kids. You know that, right? The spoiled, rotten kids in like Antifa. That the flag just happened to come up on the screen. And all these other groups of whiny little brat kids. I'd call them kids, but they're like 25 years old. They're 30. They should have families. They should have a life by now, but they don't because of Agenda 21. And they're pissed thinking it's the other side. It's the conservatives or it's the liberals. No, it's world government. And they're sustaining your life. They're making you, they can't bring up the third world, so they're bringing us down to kind of meet them. So that's why we have a regressive life. We have to tolerate other people's ways of life. And it's just nuts. So hopefully like the videos like this get out. I know people are waking up. So let's move into a little bit of a lighter note. My person of the day is Sergon Avakad. He has a new podcast out. It's called lotuseaters.com. It's on YouTube. I think he's trying to filter his audience and stuff like that out of YouTube onto like a platform that he controls, his website. He still uses YouTube, so go check him out on YouTube as well. He's got his podcast up there for now until they delete him, remove him from history. Because they can't have people like that reaching out to people that don't know what's going on. All they know is that their life sucks and they think government can make it better. If only we took down those rich people. But they're not going to touch people like Amazon or Walmart or all these big companies. They're going to take down people like Adamson Barbecue. Yeah, I'm going to say it because it's nuts. Just down the street from this guy's barbecue place, there's thousands of people shopping at Costco's. The trendies, the people that don't care about anybody. As long as their life is sustained, they don't care. So anyway, go check him out at lotuseaters.com. Great podcast. The guy's a great thinker. He's from Britain. I think everybody pretty much knows who he is. So that will bring us to the end of this episode of the Spy Patriot Live. Thanks for coming to watch, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
We've been fighting a long time. We've all lost, still learning, showing all to come. You are not alone. There are pockets of existence all around the planet. Where it break. Above all, stay alive. You have no idea